created using Powtoon. sense of direction, and I'm needing some strength and protection. Walking away with you, I go walking away with you. And when I'm faced with a tricky temptation, I abandon the whole situation. Walking away with you, I go walking away with you. Oh, what a fail-safe plan, just walking hand in hand. And I go walking away with you. If I didn't have you to turn everything to, then where would I turn? Have never been more than a single breath away. I have never felt so much security knowing you're with me. And I'm so glad to find the reason that I'm happy sad, since you tore it all away. And I'm so glad, though it hurts to know I'm leaving everything I ever thought that I would be. Once I held it in my hand, it was a kingdom made of sand. Then you blew it all away. I can't believe that I can say that I'm glad. Take my life, a living sacrifice, knowing it's the least that I can do. Make my life a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to you. On the cross you took our place, but we don't deserve your grace. We want to praise you in every way we can. But you didn't walk away, you didn't have to say I love you, but you love me just the same. Oh, you didn't have to try, you didn't have to die to save me, but you saved me just the same. Waited so long, but I knew all along that I needed you. It took me some years and some pain and some tears, but you pulled me through. Waited so long, but I knew all along I needed you in my heart. And I wonder why I didn't love you from the start. It's a miracle, it's a miracle, it's a miracle happened today. It's a miracle, it's a miracle, the stone and he rolled it away. I've been walking on a cloud, I never had so much reason to be proud. I couldn't be any higher than I am, don't ever want down from your love. I've been walking on a cloud, I never
Hello folks, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I just want to share my story with my situation back in 1981 in the United States Marine Corps. I was sitting in a chapel during boot camp, and a chaplain tapped me on the shoulder and asked me to come into his quiet room. As I was walking into his quiet room, I had no idea what he wanted from me. It was then that God was setting my life in motion. So the chaplain sat me down and he says, Ralph, I've noticed that you like to help people, you motivate people, you're always walking around with a smile. And I wanted to know, this is the chaplain saying this to me, I wanted to know, Ralph, would you like to volunteer and become a lay leader? And of course, I had no idea what a lay leader was. So he explained to me what a lay leader was. It's somebody that is a liaison between the recruits and the chaplain. So when the recruits have issues, problems, or anything like that, they go to the lay leader, and they go to the chaplain as the lay leader to let the chaplain know of the situations that are happening. It was then in 1981 that God already had a plan for me, and what when there from that point on was that God realized that no matter how long it would take for me to achieve what God already knew what was going to happen to me, He would let me go down into the worst extremes in life. So from 1981 as a lay leader, and I'm going to show you the medal now with a lay leader, the front and the back. This is the back of the medal, and then the front looks like this. So in 1981, at Paris Island, South Carolina, when I became a lay leader, God already had my life set in motion. But again, He wanted me to set my own course in life. So I went down the years and the course of my life, and did some of the worst things possible to my own body through alcoholism. God already said to Himself, well, I'm going to wait for Ralph to get close to hitting rock bottom. So from 1981 until 2011, which is 30 years, God came to me again and He said, Ralph, are you ready to continue helping other people? That's when I formed Mastic Beach Outreach 2011, and what that was is for older people and mentally and physically challenged people, that my wife and I would help them by giving them clothing, food, possibly, like in one case, tires for someone's car. And so God said, okay, he is getting better, but he's still not ready to do what I really wanted him to do. So in 2011, I continued my alcoholism to the point of 10 to 15 shots a day. As time went further, 2 years down the road, it became worse and worse with my alcoholism. In 2013, God finally put His big hand on my head and says, are you ready now? That is when I hit rock bottom. June 22nd, 2013, I reached out and I finally admit that I had an alcohol problem. It was then when God lifted me up and set my life in motion for today, September 2nd, 2014. So from 2013 until 2014, I continue educating myself and you, others, through my websites, through my videos on how to battle with addiction. And God saw this, and He said to Himself, Ralph is still continuing helping people. So in between 2013 and 2014, as time was going by, and I proved to God that I was really reforming myself, that God introduced me to Dr. Luis Gonzalez. I had been toying with the idea about becoming a substance abuse counselor until I ran into an article about recovery coaching. So I thought it was very ironic that God had planted Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point, that's StartingPointMN.com, 844-414-8444, into my life. Dr. Luis Gonzalez gave me the educational programming to turn me into a recovery coach. So while I was training for Dr. Luis Gonzalez to become a recovery coach, and today, my father comes from South Carolina to visit, and we're looking at my shrine, which my wife calls a shrine, which is all my Marine Corps ribbons and medals. And my father asked me, Ralph, what is this medal for? What is this particular medal for? And I then said to myself, here's where it all came together. I finally realized what that medal stood for and how it influenced me in my life. It was back in 1981 that God knew already that I would eventually, towards the middle or 60% of my life, be out to help other people, to continuously help people, to motivate people, to coach people. So it was from 1981 to 2011 that I ran my life to the ragged ends, to the pit of the worst. And then from 2011 to 2013, even worse than that. And then June 22nd, 2013, finally helped myself up with the grace of God. And in 2014 became an addiction recovery coach. And all that epiphany came to me due to my father asking me what this stood for. This particular silver medal. When he asked me that, it all finally came together, that God had bigger and better plans for me. And this is what I'm telling you, folks. There is a plan for you. No matter what the plan might be, you don't know what it is, but there is a plan for you. It's just a matter of you figuring it out. So why don't you let me help take your life back? Thank you. God bless you, and have a sober day. Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today is September 4th. It's about 3:30 in the morning. I just want to share with everyone something this morning. I saw a demonstration maybe about a month ago in reference to our dark side and the power of prayer. If you continuously pray over and over and over again, things will eventually become clear. Although a lot of times when we pray to God, we don't get answers right away. But if you continuously pray over and over, things become clear. So the demonstration involves this bottle, and if you see, the inside of this bottle is all dark liquid. That represents our dark side. And this cap represents our limitations. So we as a human, which is the bottle, have limitations, which is this cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bottle into the sink, and we're going to do a demonstration. So let me put that there. I'm going to turn the camera around so that everybody can see it. And hopefully you folks can all see it now. Okay, so you see the bottle. I'm going to turn the water on. Okay, so now everything inside is dark, which represents our body and our inside. And what I'm going to do, and this clear water represents our prayer. So you see the continuous water running. I'm going to now, as the prayer, as we're praying, I'm going to lift our limitations, which is the cap. And we're going to slowly add our prayer to this. We all go through dark times. I mean, I've had some dark years. I just didn't understand everything that was happening. I'm going to admit it that I'm not a super patient person. I tend to want answers right away and know what's happening and what I can do to solve it. I don't like not being happy and confident about things. It's just not who I am. But when I get down, it takes a lot for me to get back up. If we pray for a sign, which is this, the water is prayer, but just give up because we feel like God's already heard our prayer and He knows what we need, but He hasn't answered. It's kind of like when we were kids in the toy store and we kept asking our mom and dad for toys, but we never got any results. Yeah, it never worked for me either, but you get what I mean. Anyway, that is exactly what's happened to me in the past years. I have prayed and prayed and prayed, but haven't really gotten any results. The answer I thought God would give me, and especially in the time of frame, I thought my problems would be fixed, which was all before 2013. Then in 2013, my cap of limitations was lifted. This is the cap, remember this now, was lifted off the bottle, which is my body. Here is where I will just show you how that worked for me. So basically we all have dark sides, which is what's in the bottle, was in the bottle. We are facing, and we take the limitations off our mind, which was the cap I lifted. Don't limit what He can do, because we have to just trust in the Lord. That sometimes even after we pray and we just give up, and it is often why we get defeated. However, even though nothing has really changed, we just keep praying. That's the prayer, the sign of the prayer, the flowing Lord. Just keep praying and never ever give up praying. And if we do that and devote ourselves completely to the Lord, He will pull us through. The dark times will go away, and we just have to be patient. I know it's hard. Being patient truly is a virtue. But by never ever giving up on prayer, it's going to show you that God will eventually answer all your prayer. And the more we pray, which is this water going into the bottle, one day everything will become clear. You see how clear this is now? That is the power of prayer. Folks, I think that demonstration says it all. If we had a bottle which represents our body, and the bottle, everything was dark on the inside, and the water coming out of the faucet represents the prayer, day after day after day, just keeps adding to the darkness which was in the bottle. Eventually, all that prayer has to turn what was dark inside this bottle, which is our body, has to change and become as clear as this water in here. That, folks, is the power of prayer. Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. Today I'm going to talk about 5 ways to avoid relapses. These are the 5 most important ways that I can think of for you to avoid a relapse. First and foremost, I want to say hello and give a shout out to Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. You can reach him at 844-414-8444. That's Dr. Luis Gonzalez from www.startingpointmn.com. He is an addiction recovery coach that can help you from your addiction to your recovery, worrying about 24 hours at a time. Today is what we want to worry about. That's what he wants to worry about. He wants to worry about today and an action plan for tomorrow. He does not want to talk about the past. He is not a counselor, nor is he a therapist, but he is an addiction recovery coach with over 30 years experience. He is also my mentor. He taught me how to become a better addiction recovery coach. I went through his schooling, graduated, and here I am. If you want to become an addiction recovery coach, he can also teach you. If you have personality, professionalism, and personality, and a passion, passion, personality, and professionalism, and you have some sort of addiction background, whether it's dealing with your own issues or possibly helping other people, call him at 844-414-8444. That's Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. Also, give a shout out to GlobalEyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money. They have frames that start as low as $6 and go up to about $49. They have over 1,200 different styles that even make Elton John cringe. Some of the beautiful round glasses, some of them that look like they have eyelashes, although they're not, but they look like it. These frames, these prices that I just quoted you, that start around $6 and go up to about $49, include single vision, clear, non-coated plastic lenses. They include a cloth and a case. Now, you might say, well, what if I want progressives? They have them. What if I want a line bifocal? They have them. What if I want transitions or photochromatics? They have them. They also can make your lenses thinner so they're not as thick, or otherwise known as Coke bottles. That is all available at www.globaleyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money. Folks, if you have any questions about this particular company, reach out to me. I know so much about GlobalEyeglasses.com, and also I've been in the optometry field for over 30 years, so I can certainly guide and direct you with your order to help you place the proper order for the needs that you have. Give me a text at 631-599-0218, or you can call my hotline at 844-405-HELP, and my hotline is connected to my website, which is www.takeyourlifebacktoday.com, and also connected to www.clearviews.info. Both my websites. One is for the daily updates on what's going on within all my shows, just what's going on out in the addiction world, and the other one, which is clearviews.info, gives you the 411 on addiction and recovery. Reach out to me, call me, 844-405-HELP, or you can email me at RALF@takeyourlifebacktodayshow.com. 5 ways to avoid relapse. If you or someone you love has attended a drug rehab program and you have successfully completed it, it's a huge accomplishment, and I applaud you for getting this far. While the tools were provided to stay sober, relapse prevention plans were also developed. Here are 5 relapse plans that you might have learned while you were in rehab. And these are backup plans for you should you have a relapse, should you have a stress or a trigger to go by. Number 1 on my list is avoid tempting situations. During early recovery, avoid tempting situations like going to bars and clubs. Surround yourself with social friends and crowds that are in your situation, that are also trying to be sober, that might be also in recovery. You might have met them at the rehab centers. You might have met them at AA with the aftercare, after rehab center. These are the people you want to surround yourself with. You don't want to surround yourself with people that are abusing drugs or abusing alcohol. You want to surround yourself with with the people that are have the same desire to stay sober as you. You want to make sure that you don't get yourself into tempting situations. Number 2 on my list, develop a positive support group. That goes back to number 1. These social crowds that I mentioned in number 1 are the ones that you're going to utilize for number 2. Surround yourself with positive people. You should always avoid the negative people, the naysayers in life. Surround yourself with these positive people who do not engage in substance abuse, people that support your sobriety, friends, family, people that are proud of your accomplishments from making it out of the rehab successfully. These are the supportive people that you want to surround yourself with. Number 3 is create a healthy schedule. If you prefer meetings, that is something that you want to make sure that you make each and every time. AA recommends 90-90, meaning 90 days of your first 90 days sobriety. You can also extend that, make it 120, make it 150. You can also make more than one meeting a day. I've known people that went in the morning and at night. It kind of opens their day and closes their day. If you prefer to make the meetings, make sure you go. Don't say you're going to do something and then not do it. Look for full-time work is another thing that's important of creating a healthy schedule. You might have gone to rehab for 30, 60, 90 days and now you're unemployed. You might have just come out of jail because of DWI and now you're unemployed. You need to get back into the everyday life, which means you need to look for full-time work. Be part of activities. Activities include the AA, activities include maybe sports. Find yourself a passion like I have. This is my passion, and my passion is to bring you into your living room, your kitchen, jails, homeless shelters, websites, bring you the information and my experiences to wherever you might be. This information, all my information, some of it is from my own experience, but most of it, 99% of it, is directly from the CDC, from the Mayo Clinic, from newspaper clippings, from articles that I read, and I merely bring it to you. Number 4 is don't get complacent. Most people are motivated after rehab, and that is great because you are pumped up. It's almost like coming out of a gym after lifting weights. I remember growing up coming out of seeing Rocky for the first time in Northport, Long Island, New York, and I came out of there swinging and pretending like I was Sylvester Stallone, I was Rocky. That is motivation. When you come out of rehab, you probably will be motivated. That motivation starts to dwindle as time goes on. You cannot allow that to happen. Folks, listen. I've been sitting in front of this camera for 368 shows. I've been sober going towards my 2nd year. My motivation now is higher than it's ever been because I went to Number 3, which is create a healthy schedule. And part of my schedule is to bring this to you. Part of my schedule is to educate myself. Part of my schedule is to do my job in the optometry field. That is the reason that I don't become complacent. And whatever you are doing in the beginning, never ever put your guard down. If you start putting your guard down, that is when the disease, that is when the devil overtake you. And last but not least on my list, number 5 is don't view relapse as a failure. You should never view relapse as a failure. If you relapse, don't view it as a failure. That type of thinking will keep you down. It will make you depressed. So if you do relapse, look at it as a learning experience. If you were able to stay clean and sober before, you will be able to do it again. It's just a matter of lacing up your bootstraps and moving forward. Find out what caused the relapse. What triggered you? Was it a relationship issue? Was it the fact that you're still unemployed? This is where you need to find out what caused the relapse, take care of the problem, and continue in sobriety. Learn how not to let it happen again, and continue your sober journey. Continue finding that passion. Continue avoiding tempting situations. Continue developing a positive support group. Continue creating a healthy schedule. Continue not to be complacent. And continue, if you have a relapse, to move forward. Folks, a sober today, I guarantee you, makes a better tomorrow. And if you think positive, positive things will happen. And what I ask of everyone to do is just say no to drug and alcohol. Let's do a recap. 5 ways to avoid a relapse. If you or someone you love has attended a drug rehab program and you have successfully completed it, congratulations. I am very happy. I'm very proud. And now your life, your new life, is starting all at a brand new starting line. You have taken the first step of taking your life back, but it's not over after rehab. In other words, you need to continue educating yourself. You need to continue doing what needs to be done to stay sober. It is a huge accomplishment what you did, but the journey is just beginning. While tools were provided to stay sober, rehab prevention plans were developed for you. You need to make sure you adhere and you remember those. And here are just 5 that you probably did learn in rehab. You need to avoid tempting situations. If your friends ask you to go to the bar, kindly tell them no. Especially in the beginning. I, right now, at my stage in sobriety, could probably go to a bar with friends and family and have a Coke without the rum, have the 7-Up without the 7, have a spritzer with a lemon twist without alcohol. But in the beginning of all of recovery, in the beginning of all recovery, you are at your weakest point, so you need to avoid places like bars, places like clubs. And if your friends truly care for you and you told them that you have given up substance abuse, if they keep pushing you, they are not the friends, and that is a negative situation. You need to surround yourself with positive people. You need to develop a positive support group. When you come out of rehab, you might have met people while you were in there. Communicate and keep in contact with people. When you are attending AA, when you are attending any type of program, you'll probably meet new people. Those are the friends. Those are the people that you need to associate yourself with. Those are people that have the same goal as you, and that goal is to stay sober. They have the same desire of not drinking or drugging anymore. And those are truly the people you want to surround yourself with. Those are the people that you should build a support group around. Those are people that have a positive outlook in life. that don't find fault in other people, and certainly those are the people that understand by talking about your past will only possibly trigger or stress you towards a relapse. You need to create that healthy schedule. You need to, honestly, if you don't have a job, is start looking for a job. You need to make sure part of that healthy schedule is a good diet and some sort of physical exercise. That is considered a good health plan. You need to find a passion in your life. What could your passion be? My passion was to help other people, but my passion truly, and I have a video on this, started in 1981 while I was in boot camp in the Marine Corps. My passion, although I didn't realize it, was exposed by a chaplain in boot camp who came up to me and said, "Ralph, I want to speak to you." And as we were speaking, he said, "I would like you to become a lay reader." And I had no clue what a lay reader was until he explained to me what it was. And he told me the perks. And those perks, of course, interested that position to me. The perks included calling home and having soda. But here is what a lay reader is. Kind of like an addiction recovery coach. I would be the designated person between the recruits and the chaplain. Recruits, during especially Marine Corps boot camp, have a lot of issues. Issues with missing home, issues with missing their boyfriend and girlfriends, issues with the physical regiment that the Marine Corps makes you do, just issues in general, and they have no channel to go to other than themselves. So the Marine Corps, through the Navy, made lay readers for each and every platoon, for each and every squad. And the lay reader would listen to the recruits' complaints or concerns or depression or whatever and go to the chaplain. It was then that God really knew that my future was to help people. However, alcohol always stood in my way. So I'm going to fast forward from 81 to 2011. 2011, again, God spoke to me, and I created Mastic Beach Outreach 2011. And what that consists of was helping elders and handicaps through giving clothes, material things, helping around the house in my hometown at that time, Mastic Beach, Long Island, New York. However, alcohol was still in my life. So that wasn't too successful because, to me, honestly, alcohol was more important than any other person in life. Fast forward from 2011 to 2013, on June 22nd, 2013, I finally hit rock bottom. I knew I was at the bottom of the pit of misery. I knew that if I did not give up alcohol, that I would lose everything around me, including my friends, my family, and most importantly, my own life. It is then that I decided, with the grace of God, to take my life back. And that's exactly what I did, June 22nd, 2013. And that's when God knew that what He instituted in me in 1981 of being a lay reader, now, without alcohol in my life, I could concentrate on helping people from here on in. And that's exactly what I started doing. During my early stages of recovery, I started going to AA. That only lasted maybe 4 or 5 meetings because I truly felt that AA wasn't the action plan that I needed in life. It doesn't mean you don't need it, but I needed something more hands-on. I needed something to be more actively involved, more than just an hour and a half meeting per day. So I started thinking, what is the best way for me to battle recovery? For me, not to battle recovery, but to battle my disease through recovery. What was my best way of doing it? So I started thinking, how about I go back to my old roots from 81, from 2011, and that is to help people. And it is then I created www.clearviews.info, which is a website basically just on information on alcohol and drugs. And I put it out in the Google world, in the Yahoo world, and people started responding, and people were so happy that I came out there with my story, because I'm a real person with a real story. It is then, well, I said, well, listen, websites can only give you so much information. How else can I go out and witness my situation without having to walk the streets of my hometown? And I said, why not go through the camera into your living room, into your kitchen, into homeless shelters, into jails? And I started creating videos. I must admit, my first videos were terrible. I didn't know how to speak to a camera. And folks, you should try sitting there and speaking to yourself into a camera without stuttering, without, as my wife would say, flopping my lips. It is not easy, but as anything in life, the more you do, the better you get, and that's the same principle, concept that applies to sobriety. The more you put into your sobriety, the more you'll get out of your sobriety. I started doing the videos, and here I am today, 367 shows, videos that have gone viral out there. They're on 15 different addiction websites. They're on Google, Yahoo, Dig, Tumblr, Pinterest, I believe it's called. They are on Twitter. They're all over the place. People utilize it. They've not only hit my hometowns, they've hit my state, my country, but globally. I have people responding to me from Africa and China and India, England, Spain, South America. These are people writing to me saying, thank you for giving us your story. Thank you for giving us the knowledge that we need each and every day. And when I don't post a video, I do get people saying, what is going on? We look forward to these videos. So it is my passion and it is my desire to continue doing what I'm doing. No, I am not the best host. I try my best. I give you the information the best I can. And so far, successfully, it is working. But it is you, my audience, that keeps me going, because with your comments, with your remarks, I know that even if 10% of my 100% video is absorbed by one or two people, me being one and you being the other, it is a successful video. It is out there on www.takeyourlifebacktoday show. It is out on Google. All you have to do is type in Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. It is on YouTube. Just type in Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. It is out there. You can view each and every one. And here is the thing. None of my videos have I locked the embedded code, meaning you can take my video, take the embedded code, and put it anywhere or share it with anyone. I don't mind, because these videos are here for one purpose only, and that purpose is for you to get a positive reaction, for you to know that there is hope. Hope is important. Each and every day when I wake up, I know that my hope, which is my God, gave me another day on this beautiful earth. Folks, some people don't even realize how fortunate we are to wake up every morning, how fortunate we are to take a breath in and out and to blink our eyes, because there are people, as we sit right now, as I sit in front of this camera, there is someone in the world, closing their eyes for the last time, there is someone in the world that is not going to make it today. Be privileged knowing that you have a chance for change, and if you're still drinking and if you're still abusing drugs, it is today that you need to make that change, because you nor I might not have a chance to change for tomorrow. That's why I made that leap, took the changes, June 22nd, 2013. Folks, these are the 5 ways to avoid relapse. We'll go over them real quick one more time. If you or someone you love attended a drug rehab program, successfully completed, I congratulate you. It is a huge accomplishment. While the tools were supplied to you at the rehab and how to stay sober, relapse prevention plans were also supplied to you. You might have overlooked something, so I'll go through my 5 real quick one more time. You need to, number 1, avoid tempting situations. Do not go to bars, do not go to clubs, don't hang around with people that are doing drugs and alcohol, because that, especially in the beginning, when you're at your weakest moment still, is not a good idea. Number 2 is to develop a positive support group. People in your rehab center you might have met, stay in contact with them. People in AA that you are meeting, stay in contact with them. Surround yourself with people that are going through a situation like you in sobriety. Number 3, create a healthy schedule. If you're not employed because maybe you had to spend time in jail for a DWI, or maybe you were in the rehab center for 90 days and your job didn't keep your position open, it is now time to start looking for a full-time job. It is now time to start thinking about a healthier diet, because your organs all need to supplement themselves from all the years of drugging and alcoholism. It is also time for physically to enhance yourself a little, because when you do those walks every day, when you do those runs, it's healthy for your mind. And more than anything else, or just as important as anything else, is come up with a passion. Your passion could be videos, your passion could be witnessing to other people, your passion could be going to nursing homes, and maybe you have a talent like piano or singing, and going there and helping these senior citizens that sit there all day by themselves, all alone, because family members can only visit them so much because of their hectic schedules. Go there, make it a passion to witness to them in some sort. Number 4 is don't ever become complacent. What you don't want to do is to put your guard down. Each and every day should be looked at as a 24-hour battle. By all means, yesterday we don't want to talk about, but yesterday is a lesson that should be never forgotten. Yesterday, when you were doing drugs and alcohol, should always be in the back of your mind. Don't put your guards down. And number 5 is don't look relapse as failure. Relapse is like anything in life. We are human. We will make mistakes. If you relapse, it is a learning experience. Strap up your boot laces, stand straight up, and move forward. Find out what caused relapse and try to work on that situation, whether it's relationship, financially, job, whatever. Work on those situations and utilize these 5 relapse ways that possibly could make you have a relapse. And remember that a sober today, I guarantee you, will give you a better tomorrow. And if you start thinking positive, I can guarantee you positive things will happen. Stay away from the negative people in life. There's going to be people out there that will say things that are negative about other people, might even say things about your past. Stay away from them. Think positive. Positive things will happen. And what you need to not only say yourself, but institute in your children, your grandchildren, is saying no to drugs and alcohol. And with all this said, I hope to God you have a great day, but more importantly, I hope to God you have a sober day, and may God bless you.